A lot of people, they want to tout and act like their opinions that they're taking on are meant to help out the world, but that's what everybody's doing. Everybody is trying to do what they think is best for the world, and when you do what you think is best for the world, you get pissed off at everybody else that has an opposing belief. But what if you are falling underneath one of the fallacies that is synonymous with being a human, and now you're going to blind yourself off to the other side because it hurts. It hurts telling yourself that you're wrong. It hurts telling yourself that maybe your beliefs aren't real. Now, this is what you should do. You should constantly be auditing yourself. I have a lot of nuanced ideas that are not really black or white. And when you have nuanced ideas, mass society can't handle it because it takes more than one sentence to explain a complex thought that I'm trying to explain. And so people will look at it and they'll just be like, oh, so somebody that may not like me or may just want to be mad and want to engage in anger porn, which if you guys want to look this up, anger porn is like the idea that you get addicted to being angry and feeling righteous. So it gives you a prideful hit and it's a dark emotion. Let's say you want to help out the world. All right, let's say you want to help out the world. Now, first and foremost, you have to understand that you don't understand 100% of what's going on here. This thing is way too complex for any one person to understand 110%. There's nobody smart enough to understand what's going on. And there's also no black or white answer. There's just gray. If something's a yes or no question, or wrong or right, it's wrong immediately. That answer is wrong. It's okay to simplify complex issues at times, but if your ultimate goal is to be a good person and help the world out, and you think that your belief is helping the world out, and you're blinding yourself off to another side of the argument, then you're being asinine. I was open-minded to a lot of beliefs for a long time. Like I took 2 years really heavily studying it because there were a lot of people that were so hardcore about this movement. And so I told myself, and by the way, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to engage anybody's ego. I just want to have a conversation. And the main conversation I'm having is that you want to be open-minded to other people. And if your goal is to make the world better, knowing that you're stupid and you're human and you have fallacies that are constantly making it tough for you to see the world as it is, then for the most part, don't you think that maybe you should be open to other people's beliefs? Because what if that other person on the other side is better at making the world more wonderful place than you are? What if his beliefs or her beliefs are actually better than your own? And you're just blocking yourself off because of your ego. You went up this pathway for so long. You took so many actions that said that I believe this. I believe that this is the only way the world works. So you spent years going up this road just to have somebody tell you, hey, look, not to be a dick, but you're wrong. And you've been going up this path for years and you messed up. And now you gotta look all the way back and you gotta be like, oh shit, I gotta hike my way all the way back to where I started and then I gotta go up the other path. Nah, I'm not gonna do that because you invested in this path. Do you see the problem here? This is what most people are doing on the daily. It's like you make an emotional decision and then you back it up logically. This is a human thing. It's not a stupid or smart. And this is another thing too. If somebody believes something that you don't, it's not necessarily makes them stupid or smart. If somebody believes in religion, it doesn't make them stupid or smart. If somebody believes in like liberal, Democrat, pro-Trump, anti-Trump, it doesn't make them stupid or smart. It makes them human. So what ends up happening is people get into tribalism. You'll be like us versus them instead of us with us. Instead of we, you're us versus them. And us versus them is a very anger-driven mentality that is more biological and emotional and irrational than it is logical. So the second you start saying, I identify with these beliefs, I am this person, I am this tribe, now when somebody from the other tribe starts trying to give you information that might help you out, might help the world out, you block it off. Because you're like, no, that's the enemy. We're all brothers and sisters on this rock, and this rock is not going to be here forever. We're not going to be here forever. Everybody you know is going to die one day. They're going to go to the dust. They're going to be like eaten by maggots in a grave one day. What does it matter? Your ego. I'm not going to say the ideology because I don't want to trigger anybody. This ideology almost took out my entire company, and I still told myself to be open-minded to it because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not helping people out. Maybe I'm hurting the world. So I sat down for years and thought it through. What I would do if I were in your situation is sit down with yourself and ask yourself, if I'm 100% wrong, how am I wrong? So do you see how I'm doing this? Like I'm taking my ego out of the equation and I'm telling myself I am 110% wrong. So now from this new belief, now I can actually get in touch with reality. I can play the other side. The idea is that you should be able to argue the other person's side of the argument before you can argue for your own. If you can't do that, you should not have an opinion. Now, here's the next thing. Dunning-Kruger effect. I talk about this all the time, and a lot of you guys who follow me know this. The less you know about something, the more convinced and confident you will be about it. So if you're 110% convinced that your belief is right, and you've never double-checked it, you never second-guessed it, guess what? You're probably suffering from the Dunning-Kruger effect. Look this up. So you guys seen some of those people who sing in American Idol and they're terrible singers? Those terrible singers believed 110% more than Selena Gomez that they were incredible singers. through ignorance, because that's a human trait. It's not a stupid or smart thing, it's just a human trait. And you telling yourself that you're above and you're special is stupid. Like straight stupid. If the ultimate goal is to make the world a better place, does it make sense to spit and scream and be angry at the other side? No, because what's going to happen is they're just going to engage their ego. By pointing somebody out and saying, you're wrong, and you're evil, or you're this, or you're that, or you're stupid, guess what's going to happen? They're going to double down. Because to take your frame, they'd be losing. You do not make it a losing frame for them. You make it a winning frame. You say, I'm open to your point of view. I'm 110% open, but guess what? I want you to at least try to be open with me. I'll debate you, and I want this to be like a coming from a place of trying to get to a better understanding of the world that will make the world a better place. Now, from this place, never attack the other person. Never. No matter how emotional you get, you do not attack the other person. So if they attack you, bring it up to them. Be like, look, I'm trying to have like a logical debate with you to make the world better. If you want me to change my opinions, maybe you shouldn't attack me first, because the world isn't black or white. It's gray. It's in the middle somewhere. The world's just more complex than a yes or no answer. If the answer is that there's no answer. The answer is the answer is complicated. If you can explain it in a single sentence, you don't actually understand what you're talking about. The other side is the Sith, and my side is the Jedi, and they're all evil. That's a very storybook, flattened way of looking at the world. And thinking you're special makes you the same as everybody else. Because when you see somebody fuck up, you don't think to yourself, oh, I could fuck up in the same way in different areas and different arenas. No. What you think to yourself is that person is stupid, and this is confirmation that I'm smart, and that I'm better, and that I'm special. And the second you do that, you become unspecial, you become the same, you become gray, you become like the same as everybody else. If you actually want to be different, if you actually want to be woven from a different cloth, if you want to weave yourself into a tapestry versus a rag that people piss on, guess what? You can't keep telling yourself you're special, because telling yourself you're special won't give you that satisfaction. It's a long-term benefit versus a short-term gain. The momentary happy feeling of saying I'm superior to somebody else, not knowing that in the long term you're fucking yourself up. You're messing up. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to everybody else. You're basically doubling down on a belief that you don't know how ignorant you actually are on. So guess what? Everybody thinks they're smarter than everybody else. Everybody thinks they're special. Guess why? Because everybody's insecure. Could you still be confident and think that you were stupid? If I were to tell you to be confident and you had to also, on top of that, believe you were stupid, could you handle it? Probably not. Because you need to be special, you need to be different to be happy, right? So now what are you gonna do? You're gonna step on people's heads saying they're stupider than you so you can feel confident. That's narcissism. Saying that you understand 110% of the world is saying that you are God. You don't understand the full equation or this full thing that's going on because it's way too fucking complex. Nobody can. I've been studying dating now for 10 years, a decade, trying to make people's lives better. And guess what? I understand this way better than anybody you know, but actually delving into this to the point that I have, I realized how ignorant I actually was and how much more complex this situation was. And that's how everything in life is. When you get to a point to understanding, oh shit, this is starting to get complex, now you're starting to actually understand that little sliver of this vast, complicated engine that is the world. It is so complicated, it's impossible for somebody with 100 years, a lifetime, to actually understand it all. So coming from this understanding, shouldn't you be open to the fact that maybe somebody has a piece of the puzzle that you don't understand, because you don't have 100% of the puzzle pieces, right? I mean, if you're egoless and you can look at somebody and be like, oh, I don't understand 100% of this world, maybe this guy has a piece that I don't have yet that might make the world better. Wouldn't it be better to suspend your ego, go through ego death, and then move to a more closer version of reality that helps people out? That's why I say be open. This is not a political debate for either side, one side or the other. This is strictly an idea that be open and be loving and caring. If you want to change people's minds to your side of the argument too, you should start with being open, not screaming, not yelling, not fighting, not fist fighting. The other person is the same as you, just with different beliefs in a different body, different experiences. So from his or her perspective, they think they're helping the world out the same way you do. If I ever come to a hardcore belief, like let's say like game, like I think that looks are not that big a deal, and I think that women and men can improve in their dating massively if they actually take the time and effort, as opposed to like this learned helplessness where you're just stuck the way you are. I studied this for a long time, and that's the conclusion it came to. It didn't come from a place of ignorance. It comes from a place of actually understanding what's going on. You want to make sure that you are playing out all the sides, because your brain is not made to see reality as it is. I'll get some people who watch this video and they'll unfollow me. They'll stop watching me because they're like, oh, this guy has one view that's different than my own. You don't even understand yourself. What makes you think you understand me? I don't even understand myself, and I've been sitting here like trying to figure me out forever. There's layers to this shit. By watching my videos, you get a very flat understanding, a very flat view of who I am, the same way that you're getting a very flat view of the world. You don't have the capabilities, the intelligence to figure this shit out on your own. I'm stupid, you're stupid, everybody's stupid. Now, coming from this understanding of how stupid we truly are, now I can go about actually becoming intelligent.